Mahomes the best quarterback I ever seen. Forever and ever.
That was outstanding on so many levels.
This is the opening of the idiocy. Can you at least win something before we crown you the next greatest of all time? What if he just drops dead? Quarterback, guys, is more than just this. He has no defense. Learn clock management. Learn how to do it. Really? He could die any moment. Say, I hate Patrick Mahomes. You idiots in Kansas City are going to ruin him. Well, could it be that I'm intimidated by Patrick Mahomes' style because my quarterback, Tom Brady, can't do some of those things? Possibly. Could it be that I'm jealous that my quarterback is getting older and Mahomes' career is rising? Could be. Could it be that I'm worried Mahomes is coming for the title of GOAT? So I'm butthurt about that. Maybe. Could it be that I'm unhappy that everyone is talking about Mahomes and making it seem like Brady doesn't exist anymore? Okay, well, I want to further explore if I'm a victim of the affliction Basement Butthurt. When Ryan Clark idiotically said this,
Patrick Mahomes is better than all these dudes ever were.
I admit, I lost some control over my emotions. He was playing with my emotions. It triggered me like a Berkeley graduate at a rodeo. I was horrified. But why was I so insulted? Surely it wasn't personal because I've never played quarterback. So how can I take something so personally? Some people said I was being petty. No. So it had to be something else. Now, here's my issue. My problem is on behalf of every great quarterback that this insults. Number one, it used to be a quarterback having a good season. It was, okay, he could be MVP this year. 2, then if he won an MVP, it was, wow, he could be a franchise quarterback, man. That guy deserves a long-term contract. Then 3, wow, he could win his team a Super Bowl one day, maybe even Super Bowl MVP. And then 4, it was, now this guy's got a chance to make the Hall of Fame if he keeps this up. And then 5, it was, wow, he may just go down as one of the top 10 greatest ever. This is crazy. And then 6th, it was, wow, he may be one of the top 5 greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen. Then number 7, it was, could he be the greatest ever? And then number 8, he will be the GOAT. He will be. And then after that, number 9, okay, it's official. He is the GOAT. So there's 9 steps in this type of hype or expectation for a guy who looks like they're going to be a great player. You start with 1, okay, look, it looks like he could get an MVP this year, right? And then you go all the way down to step 9 saying he's the GOAT. But here's what we're doing now. We've gone straight from number 2, which is he could be a franchise quarterback and deserves a long-term contract after that MVP season. And we've catapulted all the way to 8 just like that. And for the largest morons like Max Kellerman, Ryan Clark, and the biggest douchebag, Chris Sims, he's already the best we've ever seen. So 3 through 7 just doesn't even mean anything anymore. We just skipped all that. So he doesn't need to win a team a Super Bowl or a Super Bowl MVP. He doesn't need to maybe make the Hall of Fame or at least compete for a spot there or even in the top 10. No. We've gone all the way to he will be the GOAT. No, ladies and gentlemen, I am not the one that is butthurt. It's the butthurt out there that has created the need for this video. It's the BDS, the Brady derangement syndrome that you've been inflicted with that is doing this type of wishful thinking, hoping someone can dethrone Tom Brady. We saw this with Peyton Manning. We then saw it with Aaron Rodgers, and now it's Patrick Mahomes. It's the same old thing, except each time The things you need to do in order to be in the conversation becomes less and less and less. With Peyton, it was he needs to win a Super Bowl. With Aaron Rodgers, it was he needs to win a Super Bowl and get out of Brett Favre's shadow. Now it's Patrick Mahomes. He just needs to win an MVP and run around and throw a few passes on the run, and now he's the greatest thing we've ever seen. And by the way, don't give me any more crap about, or Brett Favre thinks this about Patrick Mahomes. No. Okay. Let me tell you about Brett Favre. Brett has a motive here. If Mahomes goes on to outshine Aaron Rodgers, Brett's status as the greatest Packer is secured. For every accolade or bit of hype or attention that Mahomes gets takes away from Aaron Rodgers. For Brett, this is all about his own legacy and his own bias. And I'm not saying it's wrong or even criticizing him for it. I'm just simply stating that Favre has a motive, and it shouldn't be used as some kind of verification of Mahomes' greatness. It's the same type of thing when Joe Montana, for 2/3 of Brady's career, praised him far and wide. Because Joe felt Tom wasn't a threat to him. But the moment Tom got 4 rings as well, Joe changed and started trying to talk about how he and his peers had it rougher, and basically they played in a time where it was like the movie Gladiator, and they keep trying to discredit Tom's achievements. That's exactly the sort of thing that Favre is doing. And look what's happening now. No one cares about Aaron Rodgers anymore. Hey, Brett Favre isn't practicing no-look passes with Aaron, is he? No, that was Patrick Mahomes. You see? Why does Chris Sims drool over guys like Rodgers and Mahomes and seems to have a disdain for pocket passers? Because Chris was a pocket passing quarterback and he sucked. So he needs to devalue that style so he doesn't look as crappy. He knows that no one is comparing him to quarterbacks like Rodgers and Mahomes, so it's perfect for him to latch on to them. Not only that, Sims is still very juvenile in his approach when it comes to fandom of quarterbacks. Little kids always love the flashy athletes. But many of us grow out of that and we start to learn about substance, finesse, intellect, and appreciate those things in athletes. But kids are always wearing merchandise of the flashiest players. But in Chris Sims' case, some adults just don't grow out of that mentality either. This isn't about Patrick Mahomes. It's about the idiots who are going to destroy his career. All of you Chiefs fans who are crowning him already are hurting yourselves. The more absurd amount of praise you heap on him, the less accountability you hold him to and the team to. Your coach, the walrus Andy Reid, gets a kick out of these no-look passes and all that crap. Let's not forget that throwing a ball out of Arrowhead Stadium is idiotic. Do you have any idea how stupid that was? First, I would like to know how many attempts it took, but even if it was only one, do you know how risky that is to have Patrick do that on something so unnecessary? We all just saw Roethlisberger throw his arm out, just throwing a pass. And the Chiefs and Andy Reid thinks it's okay for him to do that? Come on. One attempt like that is bad enough, but most likely he did it several times. It's this exact risk. It's one of the reasons they don't do the throwing contest at the Pro Bowl. No quarterback wants to risk it. I just want to give a major personal shout out from me to a guy on Patreon and here on YouTube named Mr. Automotive. This guy has spent so much money on Patreon and in Super Chat. I don't even know who this man is. I don't know his real name. All I know is this mysterious guy. He's a Patriots fan. In his icon, he has a jersey on. I've kind of tried to get his name and asked him who he was a few times through email and stuff, and he finds these really clever ways around it. So I just stopped asking because I thought, you know what? He's Mr. Automotive, and apparently that's all I need to know. And he is a massive supporter of Von Allen Sports. He is my largest contributor right now, and I just appreciate it so much. And the mysteriousness of it and not knowing who you are is really cool. And Mr. Automotive, thank you. Since Ryan Clark decided to mention names. Well, he specifically mentioned Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady. He actually mentioned specific years. Okay, well, let's go ahead and compare. For some reason, when I do the comparison, they don't let me do the same player twice. So I went ahead and just for fun threw in Peyton Manning's 2013 season. I'm sure if Peyton Manning was still playing, he would have said the same thing about Peyton because he threw Tom in there and everyone knows Tom is the GOAT. So it's safe to say that he would have included Peyton if he was still playing. Well, so we've got Tom Brady's 2007.
2007 Tom Brady.
And we've got Drew Brees' 2011.
Drew Brees in 2011.
Patrick Mahomes' 2018, of course. Peyton's 2013 and Aaron Rodgers' 2015.
2015, Aaron Rodgers.
Now, just with these years, if Patrick is better than any of these guys, he said these years.
All of their greatest years, the greatest they've ever been, they've never been as good as Patrick Mahomes.
Then he must be just killing it in every category, right? Well, let's find out. Let's go to completions. Uh-oh, he's fourth. Drew Brees is number 1. Peyton is number 2. Tom is number 3. Okay, completion percentage. He's got to be winning this one, right? Uh-oh. Dang, 4th place. It's not good. How about yards? Let's find out. No. Dang it. Lost again. 3rd. Peyton and Drew Brees. Drew Brees is still playing, by the way. Okay, it's got to be touchdowns, right? Nope. Tied for 2nd with Tom Brady, who's still playing. Okay, come on, man. Okay, quarterback rating. It's got to be quarterback rating. I mean, that's like a mixture of all kinds of math and all kinds of things. So surely got to be number 1 in this, right? Wrong. Dang it. Okay, so Tom Brady's number 1, 117.2 quarterback rating in 07. Well, dang it. I mean, all those things combined, and Patrick still isn't number 1. I mean, I thought that he was better than these guys ever were in these years. Weird. Very weird. Now, keep in mind, these are just specific years that Ryan Clark mentioned, with the exception of Peyton Manning, who I just threw in the mix. Hey! Oh, cool. He's got something. He had the longest pass. Golf clap. Congratulations, Patrick. He had the longest pass. Great. Okay, but let's get back to some real stats that matter. Interceptions. Surely, if he's playing at a higher level than any of these other guys, surely he had the least amount of interceptions, right? Uh-oh. No, that is tied number 1 between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, both who are still playing. And then Peyton comes in at 3, but like I said, I'm just throwing Peyton in there for fun. Patrick is 4th with 12 picks. 4 more picks than Brady and Rodgers had. And that's interesting considering that Tom and Patrick had almost the identical amount of attempts. Tom had 578. Patrick only had 2 more, but he had less completions, and he threw 4 more interceptions. Interesting. Okay, well, how about sacked? How many? I mean, surely Patrick Mahomes, I mean, if this is the deal, he probably didn't get sacked much, did he? Ouch. Aaron Rodgers sacked 46 times at number 1. Patrick Mahomes, he's in the top 2 for something, but this isn't good. This is a bad thing to be top in. No, actually, Peyton and Tom Brady are number 1 and number 2 for least amount sacked. How about sack yards? But I mean, if he's so great, he probably didn't lose too many sack yards, because I mean, that's a bad thing for your team. You don't want to lose sack yards, right? Oh no, lost again. 4th. Not good. How about yards gained per pass attempt? Holy crap, he did it! He got number 1. Yes! Good job. Finally got something. Yards per attempt. This is fantastic. This is great news. Patrick only went 12-4. Tom Brady went 16-0. 16-0. How in the world can you say that Patrick Mahomes is better than Tom Brady was in 2007? Undefeated. And it's not like Patrick was 15-1, all right, right off of that. No, he was 12-4. He lost 4 more games than Tom did. Drew and Peyton both went 13-3. Okay, so among the ones that Ryan Clark mentioned, Patrick is nowhere near anything in having the best season. I don't see anything here that can that definitively can say that Patrick is better than they ever were in these years. People take one thing I say and thinks that that means something absolutely in its entirety. So if I'm saying there's too much hype around Patrick Mahomes, they think, okay, so you're not allowed to talk about him at all. No, that's not what I'm saying. In fact, you should be talking about him. You should be saying things like, this kid is playing the best football in the National Football League right now. This kid is awesome. He's amazing. He's outstanding on so many levels. You can even say that. You can even say, look at that torque. You can say, I haven't seen a player play this good all season. That's the best pass I've seen all season. That's the best pass I've seen in a few years. That's all okay. It's fantastic. Yeah, that's great. Say it. Go for it. If that's how you feel. But don't say, we've never seen a pass like that. We've never seen a play like that. Oh, that's the greatest level of quarterbacking we've ever seen. That's when I have to stop you. That's when I have to speak up and say something. Because this is insulting. It's massively insulting. And not only is it insulting, it's just really idiotic. And you're also, what you're doing is you're trying to devalue what the other guys have accomplished. And what guys are still accomplishing. Because a lot of quarterbacks are mimicking that style. And that's not taking anything away from Patrick. I'm just saying it's all also about where you're at. I mean, look at Deshaun Watson. Nobody's talking about Deshaun Watson much. I mean, not even close to what they're doing with Patrick Mahomes. And of course, because Mahomes won the MVP, and rightfully so, he deserves it. But Watson isn't in the same situation. But what he's doing is extraordinary too. Hail to the king. But the exact same play.
Andy Reid, what a throw, what a route. Mahomes, look at that torque. Oh my goodness, that was outstanding on so many levels.
All kinds of time for Brady to go for it. To the end zone!
And he runs it out and up, and he beats Nelson bad. And Brady knows the corner's not looking, so you just make sure not overthrow him. Mahomes, look at that torque. Look at that torque. Oh my goodness, that was outstanding on so many levels. Oh my goodness, that was outstanding on so many levels.
This is called style points. See, I'm showing you the same air yardage from these quarterbacks, but they have a different feel to them. One seems more impressive, more aggressive than the other. Now, talent in a quarterback is essential, obviously, but it can only take you so far. Everything I'm saying is beneficial to Patrick and your Chiefs team. You just can't see it because you've already been triggered 1,000 times by what I've said here, because I wasn't saying he's the GOAT. I don't dislike a player for being awesome. That is just stupid. I dislike a player when I see him buying into his own hype and then it affects him on the field. For every no-look pass he's practicing or dumb distant throws for commercials, he needs to be reading defenses. He now has it in his head that he's invincible, that he can do anything. The problem is that even when he screws up, you people make excuses. When a quarterback is reliant on his legs and physical gifts so heavily, it can be stripped from him in a moment. Look how many sack yards Mahomes and Rodgers have lost in their careers compared to other pocket passers. They're running around and, getting hit. They are exposed while doing it. Not only that, do you know the likelihood of a quarterback messing up their feet in some way is? Pretty high. You constantly have linemen from both sides right next to your feet. All sorts of things happening. All it takes is your foot or ankle to get stepped on or caught, and now you're immobile. So what do you fall back on? Now you must rely on pre-snap reading, pinpoint pocket passing only where you can't escape. So quick decision making is now imperative. But Mahomes, he did get his ankles screwed up. You see how quickly things changed? But if Brees or Peyton or guys like that, they get their ankles stepped on or scarred up, they can still do what they need to do effectively because their game was never reliant on their legs to begin with. And notice, it's usually pocket passers who play so many games in a row for years and years without missing. The pocket is a protection bubble. Learn how to use it. Why have I been so hard on Aaron Rodgers for so long? Because he was buying into his own hype, acting like an arrogant jackass and losing games due to his hero ball. It had nothing to do with him being a great player. I wasn't hard on Peyton Manning when he was breaking Brady's regular season records. You've never seen me be hard on Drew Brees or Matt Ryan when he got the MVP over Tom. Now, Aaron Rodgers is playing more like the player I wanted him to be. And now you don't see me trashing him anymore. And guess what else? His team is doing great, and they're improving every day. I see a Packers team now where everyone is excited and happy and just having a great time being a part of the team. Even in the past, when those Packers teams that went like 15-1 and had really good records, there wasn't any cohesion or sense of team between the players. But it's different now. That's the type of quarterback I can get on board with. Remember when Jimmy G started doing all that hero ball crap? Man, I was turned away so fast. And what happened to him right after? He was out for the season, doing that exact thing. If I was a Chiefs fan, I would be furious about how far the media has taken Mahomes. And I would be even more furious with Andy Reid because he's the moronic coach who is feeding this madness. The more hype and the more you feed Mahomes' ego, the more he's going to try to keep up with that hype on the field. This means forced passes, forced plays of all types, mistakes. Then mistakes can turn to losses. And when the NFL figures him out, and it's going to happen, well, it's already out there actually, he will need something more to fall back on. But he won't be ready for it because his coach is stroking his ego the entire time instead of giving Patrick everything he needs to know about quarterbacking. I already spoke about this at the beginning of the season, that the NFL was going to figure out how to best disrupt the Chiefs' offense. And once they do, teams are going to jump on it. And each time a team will get closer and closer to shutting them down. The Patriots last year showed that it can be disrupted. The Lions reaffirmed that point. And the Colts, they just closed the deal on it. And in the Chiefs' own stadium. And when that happens, you have to be able to switch to something else. Now listen, my way will make Patrick a winner and a Super Bowl champion one day. Your way is going to make him the next Cam Newton. Well, that's it for this episode of Basement Butthurt. I want to thank all of you so much for watching, interacting, and commenting, and most of all, subscribing. If you have something you would like investigated, debunked, or just a strong rebuttal, post in the comments section or email, and if we use your tip, you will get props for it. I posted a video regarding Patrick Mahomes, and I've apparently pissed off some Chiefs fans. I was really surprised, actually. I always want to make sure that my honest opinion is coming across. I don't want it to feel like that I'm just talking junk. I don't like to say random things like they do on television on First Take and Undisputed and all that. I don't like to just randomly say things. First of all, because it's an integrity thing for me. But second of all, I invite people to talk to me and challenge me, or if they have a problem with what I say. So I have to actually defend myself when I say crazy stuff. They don't have to. So it's easy to sit on TV and just talk junk all the time and say a bunch of random nothing. So after I posted this video, I got a lot of Chiefs fans a little pissy.
Interceptions, a 12-4 record, and it should have been an appearance in the Super Bowl as a first-year starter. So how did he follow that up? Oh, I don't know, they're 3-0. He has 10 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's leading the league in touchdowns, interceptions, yards per attempt, yards per catch.
That's just the beginning. That's just the opening. This is the opening of the idiocy. Now notice that he put up projected points, projected numbers. My God, man, we do this every year. After 2 games, they'll say, oh, he's on the he's projected to do that. Do you know how many things can happen between now and then? Do you have any idea? Any idea? To say this is so disrespectful, but no. Don't worry, it gets worse.
I'm gonna take it a step farther. Patrick Mahomes is better than all these dudes ever were. I'm talking 2007 Tom Brady, 2011 and 2015 Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees in 2011. All of their greatest years, the greatest they've ever been, they've never been as good as Patrick Mahomes. And everybody knows.
Bullshit. 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 Even in another language. Gluposti. It's Bulgarian for bullshit. Okay? Alright. Sorry. Now. Patrick Mahomes is doing things that we've never seen before. I watched a guy named Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham, Philadelphia Eagles quarterback, and then later on went on to be the Vikings quarterback. And guys, Randall Cunningham was doing this stuff. He was doing this exact thing, okay? So what are they talking about? I also saw Brett Favre win the MVP 3 straight years, and everyone was singing all that crap about Favre too, you know? But you know the difference between Favre when they started saying it? They didn't start saying it until after he won a Super Bowl. They didn't start saying the stuff about Aaron Rodgers till after he won a Super Bowl. So basically, we've taken at least that barrier and we've removed it. We've crushed it. And said now, hype is good enough. Just projection. Okay? So the numbers say that he's going to. So now we're crowning people, basically, based on what they're going to do. What he's going to do. Do you know how quickly this could be taken from him? How easily? The moment he signs a big contract, okay, and then they strapped like the Vikings have the Kirk Cousins deal. The moment that Kelsey has another fantastic season, he's probably going to be tired of his contract, which is barely new, and he's going to start complaining and wanting more money. What about Tyreek Hill when he's on the books for $20 million? So many things can change. What about the Walrus? What happens when the Walrus, Andy Reid, retires? What happens? Well, what happens if he dies of a freaking heart attack on the sidelines because he ate too much Kansas City barbecue? What happens then? What if he just drops dead? I mean, it looks like his cholesterol's off the charts anyway. Hell, have you ever seen him in a post-game press conference? Oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes. Oh yeah, did you guys see that no-look pass? Oh yeah. He's a bad motherfucker. I mean, come on. Really? He could die any moment. So what happens when all that changes, okay? The difference between Tom Brady and the reason why he won so many championships, first of all, he got Bill Belichick when Belichick was young. So Belichick wasn't on his way to the retirement home already or on the way to diabetes. But Andy Reid is there almost just about. Things change. Now, I know it doesn't sound like it, but I'm actually on Mahomes' side. I'm trying to say to Kansas City fans, stop it. Suppress the hype. Your stupid, dumbass coach is having Mahomes practice this crap on the field. What that means is that he's encouraging all of it. He's bringing it in. You know why? Because Andy Reid, first of all, is a player's coach, but second of all, He lives vicariously through his players, maybe at the expense of winning. I was asked the other day, how can Mahomes' playing style and how come their offense can cost them a game when they scored so many points on the Patriots in the AFC Championship game? Clearly, Mahomes didn't lose that game. What if I told you he might have? Oh, how about this? What if I told you that Mahomes had it in his power, had it in his control to win that AFC Championship game, and it was because of their type of offense, it was because of the big play offense that lost them the game? Why? Because when they were driving at the end of the fourth quarter, what did you do? You scored quickly. Why? Because Mahomes doesn't understand game management yet. He does not understand clock management yet, and it's not his fault. Why would he? Because his head coach is the biggest moron when it comes to clock management. I mean, the guy is like confused. He's like notorious for it. You guys remember the fourth quarter of the Eagles-Patriots Super Bowl in 2004? Remember Donovan McNabb was over there like supposedly he was throwing up and crap? You're telling me that didn't have something to do with Donovan not being prepared, not understanding the situation? Belichick coaches him for situational football. You think Andy Reid does that? Clearly he doesn't. Mahomes didn't know what to do. So he was just doing what he does. They scored too fast. And what did they do? They gave the greatest pressure quarterback ever too much time. What do you expect? The quarterback, guys, is more than just this. All right? It's more than that. It's more than throwing 50 yards to a wide open Tyreek Hill or Sammy Watkins. It's about leadership. It's about making everyone want to die for you, play on the field for you no matter what. It's about the defense wanting to play harder for you. Those things matter. Yes, the quarterback can affect those. The quarterback can also, Mahomes, can improve his defense. You say, oh, his defense sucks. He has no defense. If Mahomes had a defense like Brady, he'd win the Super Bowl every year. Yeah, we heard that about Aaron Rodgers too, okay? We also heard that about Peyton Manning too. We just keep hearing that, don't we? A quarterback can help his defense. How would he do that? Clock management, running the ball, or conservative plays, small plays here and there, converting on third down over and over and over. Keep them off the field. If Mahomes has a bad defense, learn clock management. Learn how to do it. If you put Tom on Kansas City right now, do you know the very first thing Tom would do? Clock management. He'd say, our defense is bad. They're not that great. So let's keep them off the field. But guess what that would mean for Mahomes if you did this? It would mean probably not an MVP, because all the idiots out there care only about yards and touchdown passes. They don't think about everything. No, Mahomes is not the MVP right now this year. Right now, it's Russell Wilson. Okay? Russell Wilson is carrying this Seahawks team on his back. My point is that I see the whole thing for what it is. So this is not a Mahomes hate thing. This is just, I mean, come on, guys. Seattle? The Seahawks were the team that said to Tom Brady, you remember Richard Sherman, you mad, bro? I remember that. That pissed me off, actually. I didn't like that. I was like, who is he to say that? But then they go on, win the Super Bowl, and they completely destroy Peyton Manning, embarrass him like that. Then we play them in the Super Bowl. And then we play them in a regular season game after that. They come to New England, and they win. They beat New England in New England. So I don't exactly have a lot of love for Seattle. All right? In fact, I have a reason to not like Seattle more than I have a reason to not like Kansas City. In fact, when Alex Smith was the quarterback of Kansas City, I cheered them on. When they played Pittsburgh in that playoff game, remember where Eric Fisher got a holding penalty on Harrison? I was like, idiots, you know? I was wanting Kansas City to win that. So don't tell me that I'm a hater. And by the way, there's a guy on YouTube the other day who said, just admit it, bro. You're a hater. You don't like him. You hate Mahomes. Let me tell you something, okay? Let's say this right now. I invited you to watch my show. I even invited you to call in. But if you are watching, I want to tell you something right now. If I hated Mahomes, I would say it. I would say it straight up. I'd say, I hate Patrick Mahomes. I would say it. There's nothing more annoying to me than when people say, oh, you really meant that. Why don't you just admit what you mean? I always say what I mean. But I'm also very careful about what I say. Because once it's said, it's out there. And you have to defend it. I do not hate Patrick Mahomes. I don't. I have nothing against him. I like watching him. I like him. In fact, I watched a bunch of interviews with him. He's nice. He's a really nice guy. But I got all of y'all's hatred because I didn't have a freaking blow-up doll Patrick Mahomes at the beginning of the video and I didn't start humping it. You should be thinking, wow, this guy's right. Let's think about more team-oriented. Let's slow down on the bullcrap. Let's slow down on the flash. Let's shut people up. Tell people to stop chirping and let him figure it out. Russell Wilson is a perfect example for this situation right now. He gets overlooked so much. He's the most underrated quarterback right now, I think. Now, I know his paycheck, he got the contract, he deserved that. But I'm talking about in the media, nobody cares about Russell Wilson anymore. They've forgotten him. Let me tell you something about Russell Wilson. If Tom Brady retired tomorrow, there's nobody I'd want to trade for more than Russell Wilson, even with his big contract. Of all the younger quarterbacks, okay, guys that are not basically almost into an AARP card, of those guys, he is the smartest in the NFL. He can run the offense any way you want, and he's willing to do whatever you tell him. He is a dream Belichick player. He is a Belichick player exactly. So if we did not have Tom, I would say bring on Russell Wilson. Not even Patrick Mahomes. I would want Russell Wilson. All right? That's not me hating on him. And a guy said, oh, you don't like Patrick Mahomes? You don't think he's the best quarterback in the league? He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Absolutely. Russell Wilson has less to work with. And his level of difficulty is a bit harder. So, I mean, I know that he has a better coach as far as overall. I think Pete Carroll's overall a better head coach. Yes, Andy Reid is a good offensive mind. But, man, when it comes to everything else, he just doesn't have it. I'm sorry. No. I remember watching him coach the Eagles in the Super Bowl, in Super Bowl 39, and I was thinking, wow, it's a good thing that we have our coach and they have theirs, because I thought he gift-wrapped some things that I was just like, some decisions that I was thinking like, wow, dude, why don't you change that? Or how about in the AFC Championship game when Tom Brady is coming down the field in overtime and you don't call a timeout? You don't call a timeout to stop everything? I mean, you don't even want to like throw a monkey wrench in there, dude. I mean, come on, anything. It's not like you were out of timeouts. You had timeouts. But at that point, even if you didn't have any timeouts, I would like pay some drunk guy to run around naked on the field. All right? Just anything to get your defense some rest, and you don't. Where are you taking those timeouts, Andy Reid? What are you saving them? Do you think they're like rollover minutes? You remember guys back when cell phones started, you had like rollover minutes and all that? And maybe Andy Reid thinks that he's got rollover timeouts. Nice guy, very nice guy, okay? Personally, nothing against him, but as an NFL coach, he is very lacking in a lot of areas. And I'm just telling you, he is actually going to hurt Mahomes in the end if you want Super Bowls. If you want Super Bowls, if you want stats, if you want MVPs, if you want, that kind of crap, okay, Andy Reid's your guy. He's your guy. Okay, looks like someone said Mahomes is the best quarterback out there and he will be the next Brady. Okay, first of all, the best quarterback out there, I am not going to disagree with that. What I have a problem with is what you just said on the second part. He's going to be the next Tom Brady. Do you know what that means? Do you know what it means to be the next Tom Brady? Before Patrick Mahomes is the next Tom Brady, why don't we try this? Why don't we try to say he's going to be the next, let's say he's the next Kurt Warner. But the only difference between Patrick Mahomes and Kurt Warner is that Kurt Warner in his first year, meaning, now I know everyone's saying that Mahomes' second year is his rookie year, and Max Kellerman made sure to bring that up and mention that. He said, he's This is exactly how Max said it. He goes, and he's doing it in his rookie year. Oh my God. And that stupid smirk of a smile he's got. Okay, well, can we play that game, please, Max? I want to play that game too. I know a guy named Kurt Warner in his rookie year who not only won the MVP like Mahomes did, but showed the world an offense that we had never seen before. Then he went to the Super Bowl, and he didn't just win the Super Bowl, he won Super Bowl MVP. And by the way, he is the last person to win Super Bowl MVP and regular season MVP in the same year. The last guy to do it. That's how hard it is. And by the way, Kurt won a second MVP and played in 3 Super Bowls. So let's have Patrick Mahomes aspire to try to be the next Kurt Warner. Let's say that. Have him look at that level. Let's say look up to that. Because that's a good level. That's a great level. Kurt Warner's a Hall of Famer. So let's go with that. And then if he can get to that area, then we can talk about guys like Aaron Rodgers and guys like that. And then after that, it's guys like Peyton Manning. And then after that, it's guys like Montana. And then once you get past that, then we can start to say, could he be the next Tom Brady? Do you understand how this works? This is not about me defending Brady. This is not about me hating Mahomes, okay? Guys, this is just pure logical sense. It is common sense, is what I'm saying. It is not a bad thing. Give the kid a chance. He's only in his 2nd year playing, and you're already putting on a heavy crown. You're putting on a crown that took Tom Brady 20 years to get. And he's still going. Do you have any idea how hard that is? You idiots in Kansas City are going to ruin him. Now, not everybody in Kansas City are idiots. I don't mean that. I just mean the ones who are sitting here getting all pissy because I said that the hype needs to calm down. You're ruining him. You're the one who's going to ruin him, not me. Guys like me, I'm sitting here saying he should play more efficient, okay? Slow the game down. That is what I would want to see. That will win. That is winning football. Both. When Patrick could do both. If he could hit those big plays when he needed to and then slow the game down, that you've got a very dangerous player there. If you would like to support the channel in more ways, you can visit our Patreon in the description of this video. You can also purchase merchandise from us, which if you send a picture of yourself with it, I will put it in the next video. You can also support by purchasing music. You guys are awesome, and you have no idea how appreciative I am that you always comment and interact with me. I am really enjoying this work, all because of you guys. Thank you so much.
Von Allen Sports.